All right, let's talk about a company that sells safety gloves, motors, and HVAC parts. I know. It sounds incredibly dull, right? But what if I told you that this exact same boring company has been an absolute monster on the stock market for decades? I mean, quietly outperforming some of the biggest, flashiest names out there. Well, this is the story of the Grainger blueprint.
It's a really simple question, but it gets right to the heart of this whole thing. In a world that is just obsessed with the next big, shiny object, the next innovation, what if a company's greatest strength was just being utterly, reliably boring? And this lays it all out, doesn't it? It's the tale of two tapes. On one side, you've got your market darlings. They live on hype, headlines, viral products, and these wild boom and bust cycles. And then you've got Grainger. Their whole game is discipline, execution, essential supplies, and the slow, steady, relentless power of compounding. It's a completely different playbook.
So let's peel back the layers and see what really makes this quiet giant tick. Who is this boring stock monster anyway?
Okay, so GWW Grainger is a huge distributor of what's called MRO supplies. That stands for maintenance, repair, and operations. And really, it's just the nuts and bolts of the economy, the invisible stuff that keeps our world actually running. Think about a hospital or a giant factory or even a government building. Grainger sells them all the essential, totally unglamorous things they need every single day to just keep the lights on. And this is the secret sauce. Customers don't go to Grainger for some breakthrough, revolutionary new product. They go for certainty. It's the absolute guarantee that a critical part will be in stock and will show up on time. I mean, think about it. When a factory assembly line goes down, that can cost thousands and thousands of dollars a minute. In that world, certainty isn't just a nice to have. It is everything. See, underneath this kind of dull exterior, Grainger has been cultivating a set of incredibly powerful, hidden competitive advantages. These are the superpowers that turned a simple parts distributor into a genuine economic fortress. And all these superpowers come together to build what investors call an economic moat. It's just like a moat around a castle. It's a durable advantage that protects a company from all its rivals. And believe me, Grainger's is one of the widest and deepest in the industrial world. So let's look at how they actually built it.
First up, just their sheer unmatched scale. Grainger offers millions of products. Millions. For a big customer, like a hospital or a factory, this is an absolute game changer. Imagine, instead of having to deal with dozens of different vendors for your gloves, your motors, your light bulbs, you just consolidate everything through one trusted supplier. It simplifies everything and totally locks you into Grainger's ecosystem. Superpower number 2 is their world-class logistics. I mean, Grainger has invested billions into the state-of-the-art distribution network, and what does that get them? It lets them offer same-day or next-day delivery on critical parts. And for their customers, again, this isn't about convenience, it's about survival. It's about minimizing that incredibly expensive downtime. That speed is a massive part of their moat. Now, here's the one that so many people missed for years. Grainger was an early and frankly aggressive adopter of e-commerce. Way before it was standard, they were building online ordering and automated purchasing systems for their big clients. This didn't just make things easier for the customer, it also dramatically lowered Grainger's own costs and quietly boosted their profit margins year after year. And when you put it all together, you see this amazing, powerful loop start to spin. Their massive scale makes them a one-stop shop, their logistics guarantee ultra-fast delivery, their digital systems make it cheap and easy, and all of that together builds this unbreakable trust that creates incredibly loyal, sticky customers. It's a cycle that just keeps getting stronger and stronger. So, we've seen the business model, we've seen the superpowers. So what's the payoff? What happens when you run this disciplined, boring playbook for decade after decade? Well, you get a compounding machine. This is the question that really matters, right? For anyone looking at this company, what is the actual tangible result of all this relentless behind-the-scenes work? And this quote just says it all. The company's stock, ticker GWW, it didn't just beat the market, it dramatically outperformed it. And it wasn't a fluke. It wasn't because of some meme or a bunch of hype. No, it was the direct result of decades of consistent operational excellence. You can really see the story here. I mean, look at the roller coaster ride of the so-called market darlings. Then you've got the steady, solid growth of the broader market. And then you see Grainger, just that relentlessly consistent line that, over the long haul, just leaves the others in the dust.
It's an absolute masterclass in the power of steady compound.
So you have to ask, why did so many smart people miss this for so long? Well, because on the surface, it checked all the unappealing boxes, right? It was in a supposedly slow growth industry. It had zero consumer visibility. You're not going to see a Grainger ad during the Super Bowl. And the profit margins looked kind of thin. It took years for the market to finally wake up and appreciate the incredible value of its predictability and its massive, massive cash flow.
Okay, so this story is about way more than just one company. The Grainger blueprint actually contains some really powerful lessons for any of us. Let's just boil down the key takeaways.
First and foremost, boring can be beautiful. You've got to remember that. Unexciting, essential industries can produce the most extraordinary long-term results. Sometimes the best opportunities are hiding in plain sight, in the exact places nobody else is even bothering to look.
The second big lesson is that execution will always, and I mean always, beat hype in the long run. Building a world-class logistics network or a seamless e-commerce platform, it isn't as sexy as launching a viral app for sure, but that kind of deep operational excellence is what builds a durable, profitable business that lasts. And this brings us to such a crucial point about patience. The Grainger story is a masterclass in long-term thinking. This was not an overnight success. It was built brick by brick, quarter after quarter for decades. True wealth is so often created by just ignoring the short-term noise and focusing on the long-term quality of a business.
And finally, it really all comes down to this. Cash flow is king. A business that generates strong, predictable cash can do amazing things. It can reinvest in itself to make its moat even wider, it can survive any economic downturn, and it can consistently return money to its shareholders. Cash flow is the engine of compounding, period.
So that's the Grainger blueprint. It's a story of discipline, execution, and the quiet power of just being essential. And it leaves us with a really fascinating question to think about. In our own world, a world just filled with noise and hype, what indispensable, boring giants are we all overlooking right now?